Greetings everyone, welcome back. This is part 3 of the what I'm now calling the Stitch Dave Mustaine mashup. And towards the end of the video, and I just kind of did this quickly off camera, I noticed that when I drew this, I put this notch a little too high. So I wanted to correct that on this one. Of course, it's not the worst thing in the world to have this kind of a little mistake. But actually, let's zoom in on this a little bit. What I have to try to do is I'm going to have to try to hide this notch here. And we'll figure that out as we go. And anyway, it's just in my sketchbook, so it's not really going to be that dramatic of a thing. So now, using the bunny pen, we're going to try to figure out color scheming, and this has a whole variety of colors to use. So let's see where we can go. Actually, let's use dark blue for some of this. We'll look at the outlining. And maybe in some way I might end up liking this other notch in the ear anyway, as a beautiful mistake. And yes, if we did this in pencil to start, we might have been able to correct that, but I'm happy that you got to see that wonderful, wonderful little mistake. I'm not ruined by it. So, the neat thing about doing some of these moments like this, where I'm basically adding in the detail that I want seen more so, is that I kind of get to highlight the stuff that I like. Let's go to black next. I'm going to do around this eye. These huge Baby Yoda eyes. Now, of course, Lilo and Stitch came out long before The Mandalorian. Having big eyes have been around for a long time in animation or in comics or just in life in general. You know what? Baby animals seem to have really big eyes too. So I think it kind of builds something in us innately that might suggest that we need to try to take care of those creatures that have enormous eyes. I don't always feel that way. You know, look at what's the name of that actress? Zooey Deschanel. She has huge eyes. I don't feel the need to take care of Zooey. We'll leave that up to the Scotts, one of the Scott brothers anyway. Although she takes care of herself too. So I'm going to switch around to this other blue here for a moment for some of this. Take care of some of these wrinkles in the nose with that same blue, although, you know, they might look similar to you folks with the black that I'm using, that I did for the eyes and whatnot. But I promise you, in person, they seem very different. Actually, I'm going to continue to use that blue in this nose. Like that. And we'll do the top part of the nose just a little bit, but we're going to pretend in some way that the nose is a little bit shiny. Now I just brought out black on the bunny pen. Just a slight amount of shading inside the nostril, but we want it still to be discernible. That's interesting. I'm going to use the blue to outline the mouth of Stitch. Now, as I said, we're treating this like a mashup as well. So we're going to add in some other features soon. I mean, we already have Dave's signature guitar. Which is awesome. And I like to say this and mean this, but I truly think that of modern guitarists, there are very few people that I would take serious enough for them to play a Flying V guitar. And Dave is really kind of it for me. I mean, anyone can pick up a guitar, any kind of guitar, and play it. And there's some people that they just kind of make sense when you see them playing certain guitars. Like Slash could pick up one of these guitars and play it. But it wouldn't make sense to me. That might sound ridiculous to say, but to me, when I see Slash in my brain, I only picture Slash playing a Gibson Les Paul. And I don't think I'm the only person who would say such a thing. I've seen Slash play in person. I've seen him play an acoustic guitar. I've seen him pick up other people's guitars as well. So, yeah, no, he can play anything. I just, when I picture him, I don't picture him playing anything really other than a Les Paul. So same sort of thing with Dave Mustaine in my brain. He only plays a Flying V with an Explorer head stock. So strange, isn't it? Now, I think that's kind of the main part of the face that I'm going for, but we're going to bring out pink. We're going to work on the gums just a little bit. Just like that. Inside the mouth. Although I'm going to shade a lot of this out because the mouth is not open that wide. This will kind of sharpen the teeth a little bit too by adding some definition in there. Sometimes the secret with some of these things, drawing-wise, is contrast. Like you notice the blank spaces. That's kind of an interesting thing to think about, where you want the blank spaces to be. Okay. We'll end up doing like maybe some kind of like, well, I'll just do a little bit there. Some light shading inside the mouth. Interesting. Here we're now going to work on some more signature features of Dave Mustaine. He has glorious rock star hair. So why would we deny the Stitch version of Dave Mustaine to not have glorious rock star hair? Now remember, this way here is roughly where the vertical line of what we got going on here will be. That's okay, because we're wild thrash metal guitar playing. Now, Dave Mustaine is actually quite a famous guitarist. He's been melting minds for, more than 40 years on stage and with albums. And most notably with his band that he founded called Megadeth. You might hear some of his music. You can find it pretty easily too. Symphony of Destruction. He might take you on a tour of Hangar 18. But anyway, an amazing guitarist and songwriter. pretty influential too to a lot of people that play, and not just play the same kind of music that he plays. A lot of people actually follow Dave in his techniques and apply them to their own styles of music too. So that's really cool. That kind of stuff is what makes a person, to some degree, an icon, where you might have a style of doing something, or you might have like a look in some cases. Now, in the world of celebrity, and this is just me rambling, I can truly say this because this is what I truly believe. You have to understand that these are regular people that may have focused on something that kind of makes them seem extraordinary. And in a lot of ways, they are extraordinary. But the truth is, they're regular people who like snacks, let's say, or certain types of food, let's say, or so beyond the art that they give you, I don't really think, let's go to this dark blue now, and we'll work on this ear. I don't really think they owe you their personal time. So if you're out in public and you see someone that you, let's say, invested your own hard-earned cash in supporting, let's say, going to their movies or going to their concerts or investing in, whatever cool clothes or whatever thing that they might be known for, you have to remember that their personal time, you don't have a right to. So keep that in mind. Be polite if you see someone that you're a fan of, and just be like, hey, I really like what you do, or whatever. Like, don't assume that you should go up to somebody and take photographs of them when they're hanging out with their kids, or their sick parent, or what have you. Just try to be cool, man. Anyway, it's not so much a rant, but just kind of an observation, I suppose. Just be cool. Because they value their privacy just like you do. They're not any different than that. They're just well known. That's all. So I'm just kind of putting in some fuzzy blue here because I have this dark blue, and because I did it in light blue first, I'll be able to do that around the eyes over here a little bit. And I won't let this video get too long as well, so we may end up with another part. But I'm just kind of working on the head of our Stitch Mustaine. In celebration, I suppose, of the upcoming Disney movie, which is part animation, part live. Although I do think that they have some, like, anyway, I don't know. I guess I'll have to see. there's like neato special effects and animatronics and all that kind of stuff. Whenever I hear about these movies coming out, I try not to watch too much of the trailers, because sometimes the trailers give away a lot of a movie, and I am not a fan of that. So, okay. Bunny pen, give me the light blue. We'll do around the eyes here, because it is just slightly lighter blue around the eyes when looking at references like this. I really do like these bunny pens. They're way cool. Because it's kind of annoying to flip from one like color to another, going to different markers and whatnot, right? So yeah, I like it. Anyway, next, pink. Now, how am I going to hide this? Well, we're gonna smash in a lot of pink here. We're gonna fill in that just a little bit. Remember that little gouge that I left, the nick in the ear that I put in too high? Well, for now, we're just letting it get filled in by the pink, and then we'll try to figure out a different way to hide it after with like shading or something else. We're not going to be embarrassed by that. You kidding me? It's nothing. For a sketchbook, whoop-de-doo. Whoopity-doo. So a little bit darker where the fold of the ear is. Let's do the other side now. Try to leave some of the exposed, beautiful hair of Stitch Dave. We'll even get in there after a bit and we'll separate that with a darker color. Actually, let's separate that right now using the bunny pen. So we'll just kind of go dark around it. And we'll let it just be an obvious place where the hair would go. Just like that. Not a big deal. And we'll now leave it alone. It's always surprising to me, putting in effort into your doodles. You can sometimes come away with something that you can be kind of proud of. I don't know how I feel about this one yet. It's interesting. I don't know what Dave would think of this. That's also kind of interesting. Now the lower part of Stitch's mouth is light blue. And dark blue for the rest. But I'm going to treat it more like hair. So we'll let the hair just kind of naturally flow around. We'll keep some of the detail seen. And we'll darken it as we see fit to darken it. Around the edges and whatnot. A little under the nose. A little bit under the eyes. Do the same on this side. So who knows how many different versions of this creature are out there. I'm sure people have done lots and lots of mashups with Stitch. You know, like Wolverine or even Spider-Man. Because of the eyes, I could see you doing that with lots of characters that have those kind of highlights around the eyes, like Spider-Man does and Deadpool does, and yeah, there are a lot of characters that have eyes like that. So help yourself to any of that stuff. If that's what's inspired you to do something like that, then off you go. I'm going to guess that this might be the only Dave Mustaine version of Stitch in the world at the moment. Just a guess. That's what I would think. Now this part will be a little bit tougher. I'm going to try to keep some of those strands of hair from just being eliminated by dark blue. I'm just trying to put a little bit of focus in on that. If any of you know Dave, ask him what he thinks. I think he's probably a pretty funny guy, for the most part. Pretty talented guy as well. He might actually be a fan of the series of movies and TV shows. And just so you know, this is not the face of an intoxicated version of the character. This is a rockin' face. We're rocking out. Now Dave himself let's go up here to this. He has his own like line of, I'll go back to that blue, of wines. So he's a connoisseur. Now for that stem, I'm going to do it in dark blue. Then, although, as I said, you may not see the difference, I'm going to black. Just do a little bit on the inside there. A little bit over here. Like that. Next, we're going to go with red from the bunny pen. And we're going to just fill this in a little bit to start. We won't go right to the outside. We'll leave a little bit of that halo that I put in. Let's try a different angle on that. That's better. We're going to treat that as if there's light reflecting on the top of it a little bit too. And we may work that a little bit more. Now on the bunny pen, I'm going to the blue, the dark blue. And I'm just going to figure out where I want certain parts to be acknowledged. Interesting. Just like that. Oops, I guess I kind of did that out of camera view. But now let's move down here. Try to move through some of this a little bit quicker. Actually, let's get a little bit more of Dave's hair going off his shoulder here. A little darker behind there. Yeah, a little darker up around the head here as well. Okay. Now, dark blue again. Throw in a little bit of shade wherever I can, just so that I remember where certain things are. A little bit of sort of muscle definition going on with Dave's arm there. So in my head I had to plot out where I wanted certain things to be because I didn't pre-pencil it. So I had to leave room for the guitar. And if you doodle enough, you kind of can do that, which is kind of fun to do. It doesn't always work out. But you kind of look at things as where space can be occupied. I didn't want his fingernails to be too outrageous here because playing the guitar sometimes can be a bit of a nuisance to let your fingernails tap on certain things if you don't want them there like that. So, I mean, different people like Leona Boyd, who's one of the world's greatest guitarists as well, would have long fingernails. Now, just trying to think of where I wanted other things to be. Let's go the light blue again, because the belly is light blue, yes. The shorts. Well, let the shorts be kind of high up. And then dark blue for fur surrounding the light belly. Go to the black next. As I said, this character is wearing a vest. Maybe like a jean jacket vest. I don't know yet. A little bit of light shading where the arm would be. A little bit of light shading in there too, because it's in behind. little bit. Now, because I think it's fun, and I have black pen, let's work on a little bit of the guitar. Or maybe we should take a break for a moment, and then we'll have another video. Well, yeah, we'll start another video so this one doesn't drag on too much. Let's back out for a moment. We'll look at what we have so far. Interesting. Anyway, so stay tuned to the next video. See if we can get a little bit more work done on this Dave Mustaine Stitch mashup. Anyway, until next time.